He was a boxer, he'd be Cassius Clay. But instead, he's just Darren to us. Darren Casey, that is.
Hi, Tony. How are you going?
I'm not bad, Darren. How are you going?
I'm going well, thank you. It's nice of you to have me back again.
It's a chore.
For this powerful segment.
It is a powerful segment. You know
Isn't
that.
it?
I know that. Everyone knows that.
It's a powerful segment. Hard hitting. Yeah. So, what have you been up to? Are you having a good time?
It's always a good time. It's we live in the best of times. I always, on things like this, I defer to Kamala Harris. And let me just quote her, Darren.
Sure.
Can I?
Yeah, I want you to.
I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past, but to the future.
Oh, that's mental. That is so mental.
So seriously, when her boss keels over from a dementia-related heart attack, she's in charge.
She's in charge of America,
Yeah,
Tony.
of nuclear weapons.
That's not Australia. Australia's the greatest place on earth.
Amen.
We're not America. They do things a little differently over there. Boy,
So
that
there you
is a
go.
lot of nut speak, isn't it?
It is. It's a word salad.
Right, management stuff. Needed the word synergy and
Yeah.
moving
KPI.
forward and more of those kind of words. Platforms.
Yes.
It needs more of those words in it.
More pabulum.
Synergy and outcomes.
Yeah.
All right, look, a couple of quick things for you. Footy, I know you didn't want to talk about Collingwood's last quarter last week, where they rose like Phoenix. Reeled them back in about 8 minutes.
Didn't they? Yep,
Anyway,
they were amazing.
But
Yeah.
I want to... Now, this is an important thing. Footy shorts.
Yeah.
They're getting little again.
Okay, we've been down this road before, haven't we? Are we really happy about opening that up again, that part of our history?
Well, I've noticed Cripsy, your captain,
Yeah.
Carlton captain, he's wearing his little sister's shorts, but not all of them are doing it.
Right.
But I just thought, gee, it's not quite like the 80s when players were running around like cocktail waitresses on an oil rig. But they are getting a little bit tight again.
Well, at Carlton, can I explain? You know the whole thing about about averaging in the AFL. You know they want to average everything out. Well,
Yeah.
Well, we've still got to make allowance for Eddie Betts's baggy shorts.
Of course.
So it means somebody to average that out has to wear very tight shorts.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, you've explained it. No problem.
Thank you.
Because Jack Ginnivan, he likes a baggy cut too.
Well, see, so long as there's probably some AFL formula that they work out. Probably some algorithm where there's the baggy shorts keep the tight shorts in balance. It's probably like nature where there's enough predators and enough prey.
Well, I remember like going to, say, a barbecue in the 80s, and guys would wear, they'd have a pair of footy shorts that were the same as the then AFL cut.
Yes.
And like be walking around the backyard with a beer in a pair of those shorts.
Yeah.
And it was like, are you just at the barbecue or are you some sort of hired entertainment? Should you be like just walking around with a tray of cigarettes or something and lighting them for people? Because the shorts got so tight. But, all right, they're footballers all greased up with Vaseline. They're playing a game. They don't want to get tackled. So they're less flowing material. I get it. But guys were wearing these shorts around.
Sometimes without a shirt. That's my memory of it as well. Like that's all but that's all some guys would wear. That was it.
Yeah.
There'd be no thongs, maybe thongs, but then there'd be no shirt either.
Yeah, I remember a guy, he just had the singlet and a massive moustache.
Yeah.
And I said, you're an interesting fellow. But he's massively tight shorts walking around.
Yeah. We didn't need that.
Disgusting.
We didn't need it then. We don't need it now. I reject
What
it.
about, you know how I mangled my shoulder last year and I've been doing rehab and I'm going to be bigger and stronger. I'm hauling logs through the Russian forest.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, Rocky. Who?
Who? What?
It was, oh, God. I honestly, gee, that's mental. I didn't mean to start talking about him. Just kill out. I sincerely was not going to talk about. Well,
I know you would.
It happened by accident. What I'm trying to say is I've been doing all these sort of weight work on one arm, and I didn't realise. I look in the mirror, and I'm becoming like a fiddler crab. You know the crab that's got one massive claw? That's what I've become.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I'm Darren Fiddler Crab Casey with his one massive claw, walking around cuffing people.
Right.
I like it. And you know I've liked it because I've always had an affinity with crustaceans.
You have.
You know that.
Yeah, it's been a theme of this segment.
Yeah. And mollusks.
Yeah.
They're welcome here. Crustaceans and mollusks. Yeah, one massive arm.
Right.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And the article said they use this arm for fighting, this claw for fighting. Oh, yeah? In a fight outside a pub, use your claw. Use the big claw. You're getting your head punched in. Anyway. As if you wouldn't use
exactly.
the big claw in fighting.
I want to know, when you are working out, is there montage music playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all, and I go and I jog up the steps of, some big building and shadow box.
Yeah.
And there's that, there's that sort of soaring music.
Yeah.
Orchestral soaring that just takes us all up to be better than we ever were. That kind of thing.
Yeah. And you're going to be great again.
To have it one arm bigger than it could ever be. Yeah. So when I go to get clothes fitted now, I've got two tailors. I've got one either side, working off different pages. It's incredible. It's an incredible life. It's really changed me. And there's that.
I'm sure it has.
Yeah. Apparently, I was reading that they're saying, because you'll love this, Vladimir Putin is using body doubles.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We love a body double. I love a political body double. And if he is, I think I know who it would be.
Oh, this is good. Who?
Yeah. Well, it would be clearly the work of one man, Tony. Oh. I think you know who that would be.
Who would that be?
Shall I say his name?
Please do.
Alexei Sebastian, the master of disguise. It's bound to be him.
It has to be.
Yeah. Chaos. Yeah.
Oh,
I love
it's dastardly.
Alexei Sebastian. Did you say dastardly?
It is dastardly. Is that...
You mean like Dick Dastardly from the Wacky Races?
No, I mean...
You're trying to take it?
No, it's the dictionary definition of dastardly to use a body double.
Oh, right.
It's not. It's just not cricket.
No. See, when you mentioned Dastardly, and I thought of Dick Dastardly, I thought of the Wacky Races. You remember them?
Yes, I do.
Because I was thinking in the last week we discussed gravel and some of the uses of gravel in Afghanistan.
We did too.
And then it reminded me of, in the Wacky Races, there were the Slag Brothers, Rock and Gravel.
Jeez, you've got a memory.
Them?
No, I don't, but well done. Is it? A lot of people
would
be nodding.
You might remember the Wacky Races.
I do, but I was never a faithful watcher of that show, but I was catching what they were throwing.
But you were one of 27 siblings who had to fight for every morsel of food on your plate. You had to kill 5 brothers to get to the TV.
That's true. That is true.
So if you didn't see a lot of wacky races...
That would be why. I could never see the TV. There were too many siblings in front of me.
Yeah.
I was small and at the back.
You're fighting, punching.
Yeah.
Just to get whatever you needed in life.
It was hard scrabble.
Everything was a fight. Your mother just threw the food at you. She fed you all like
geese. That's so true.
Yeah, and you all just came roll just around, feathers and stuff everywhere, biting each other. Get out of it. Save some for the little one. Punch, punch.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. No, but the Slag brothers, I'd always go, here comes Penelope Pit Stop.
Yeah.
Dick Dastardly, and they'd name them all, and then they'd say the Slag brothers, and they'd always say their 2 Christian names. They'd always say the Slag brothers, Rock and Gravel. They always said it. They never just said, there's the Slag brothers.
What is it?
It was always the Slag brothers, Rock and Gravel.
What, is it courtesy or to...
I don't know, maybe that's just the way they wanted it. I don't know. The Slag brothers, Rock and Gravel.
Yeah, I never got it. As I say, I was too busy slowly starving.
You were out looking at jets.
Yeah, and
yeah. All right, that's something.
Yeah.
Have you been? Ghosting.
Yes, I do know ghosting.
Modern things that people on dating apps all carry on with this sort of stuff. Now, ghosting is when someone just ignores you.
They act like you never existed, and you may have had, a good relationship with this person, texting, even seeing them face to face, and then it goes absolutely dead. Yeah,
and if you see them in the street, they look away, fresh air, nothing.
Yeah.
Ghosting.
Yeah.
Well, someone was talking about ghosting on on Twitter, and a woman piped in and said, "You've been ghosted. Even worse, I've been zombied."
Oh, what does that mean? That's a new one.
It's new, Tony. It's a new one. Zombied. That's when someone who's been ghosting you, maybe 3 months later, gets in touch.
Oh.
Zombied. That's what they're calling it. That's not like the zombied that I know. In my day, zombieing was when someone approached you walking really weird with the intention of eating you, and you had to smash their head in with a shovel. Now, that was zombieing. But see, young people, they don't get it.
No, they're too lazy to pick up a shovel, much less carry one in the event they might need it to smash across a zombie's head.
Exactly.
Weak.
Walking at you in a weird way. They always have that disjointed Elvis-y kind of way of moving toward you.
Too, like they've just thrown away 2 crutches.
Yeah. I'm coming for you. Give me those brains. Yeah, where's my shovel? Right in the face. All right, here's a zombie question.
Yeah, okay.
If a zombie scratches you or bites you, slowly you become a zombie.
Yeah, okay, yep.
But what about if you're got quite a few bites out of you, or quite a lot of you, because sometimes 6 of them will eat one person. Does that person become a zombie?
Well, don't they become eaten? I don't know. I think it depends. If you've had your anti-zombie booster shots, you're generally okay. It just depends if it's within that 3-month window. I don't know. They all, the other thing about zombies, Darren, is they have awful table manners.
Yeah, I know, and they don't share.
No, they really don't.
Well, if an arm was bitten off, and a few bites of your internal system, and maybe one leg, like there's still quite a lot of you left, would that still be a zombie?
Oh, right, okay.
They never did. I asked my wife this, and she looks at me straight. She says, "How would I know?" And she had me there.
Yeah, right.
How would I know? I told you I had a 90-year-old auntie who loved Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
And I said, doesn't the violence bother you? What about that? No, not really. Well, what about that time when the guy put a pitchfork in the zombie's face under his chin, and the prongs came out his eyes.
Oh.
And she says, that's the only way you can kill him.
Yeah.
It's gone crazy. People don't care anymore. Violence is okay if it's on a zombie or a robot.
True.
You can beat up on robots.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
You can really bash their heads in.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So, we talked about goons. We often talk about goons.
We love goons, yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking for the day when you become a goon and you have a business card.
Yeah.
That just says Tony Moclair, goon.
Goon. Yeah.
That's what I want. But have you ever been in a situation where you were talking to someone who was being stern who had a goon?
Oh, no,
I have.
No, I haven't. Wow, hang on. Please, ill-fitted suit, large of body, standing in the background, arms folded across in front of their, or just maybe just above their groin.
Menacing.
Yeah,
or
wow.
Sometimes punching the palm of one hand with the fist in the other.
Yeah,
that's a real threat, that one. I'd forgotten about this because it was 100 years ago. But back in my 20s when I was working as a cook / chef, brackets unqualified, and I was doing agency work, I'd forgotten about this. I'd get a call sometimes at 10 o'clock and you'd be in this kitchen in the next hour. You know, it was all quite short notice, some of it.
Darren, I used to do that as a dishwasher. Exactly the same thing.
Yeah, well, it was kind of fun. And you didn't know where you were going to end up, and you never got involved in the politics of the place. You were never there long enough to get drawn in. There was always some manager who hated one of the chefs, and she'd drag you aside, and you didn't have to worry about any of that. But I went to a place, it was past Brighton, on the way to Mentone or something. It was an Italian place. And I get down there at about 5 o'clock in the evening. Someone let me in. I go into the kitchen. It's empty, and there's not much food there. I'm thinking, gee, I don't know how they're going to do this. I couldn't even find any mince for the bolognese. And I'm still scratching my head. I've pulled a few things out of the fridge. I've turned ovens on and all this sort of stuff. And then I get I think it was the manageress or a waitress who says, can you come out and talk to the boss? Or the boss wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
And I go out and I meet this guy, and he's sitting there and he's got a little scarf. Now, I'm about 25. I'm not thinking he's the owner, sure.
Yeah.
Sit down. And I sit down, and he starts asking me stern things about the kitchen. And there's a big guy sitting at the table behind him, watching the whole conversation. And the guy, he doesn't know that I'm from an agency. He thinks I'm the cook. He's either just bought this joint, and he thinks that I'm deliberately running the joint into the ground.
Yeah. So
that maybe he has to sell at a reduced price for maybe someone I know.
Yeah.
You know, this sort of thing could be going. None of this occurs to me. Then suddenly I realise, and I have to explain. He's going, is there any spaghetti? And I said, well, there's hardly anything in there. Someone's going to have to go out and get me some food. There's a couple of steaks, there's some pasta, there's a block of cheese. But no, there's not much in there. You wouldn't be deliberately doing that. And I had to tell him, no, I'm from an agency. I've only been here like an hour. And I was off the hook. But it got really weird until I explained to him, I'm not the guy. Someone's rung me, and I'm from an agency.
What was he? Was the goon going to pat you down and then turn around with an incriminating meatball that you'd smuggled under your armpit?
Well, it could have gone that way.
Wow!
But who knows? I could have ended up. That's the beauty of agency cooking. You can end up in a forest with a bag over your head digging a hole. But you get those, you get the casual rate.
Exactly. You're getting time and a half. Yeah. Even on a weekday.
Yeah. But I thought of that. Yeah, it was for a moment there. It was starting, and then he realised that I wasn't the actual chef. And he was not too happy about that, and he wanted to find out where. I think he spoke to the manageress or the waitress about where's the actual chef.
So
and the hook.
The tragedy is you'll never know what happened and how the goon was used. Eventually.
Well, I drove home. I took the forest route home, and I think I saw a guy in chef's pants digging a hole with a bag on his head. So you don't know how things are going to turn out, do you?
That is a classic goon maneuver, that one.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you learn at goon school.
Yeah. I suppose I'll just move on. What about... Oh, no, we've run out of time. That's it.
We've run out of time, Darren.
That's the quickest
it's the saddest part of the week.
segment of my life. Well, what can I finish up with? I wanted a little snappity bit to finish. What about... Oh, no. Oh, gee, I've got more. I got heaps.
Well, save it for next week. Darren.
Well, that was fun.
It's just balm for the soul, so thank you. And
all right, here's a stupid one to finish up.
All right.
A guy punched me. A guy punched me in the face the other day. It was music to my chin. I was trying to get the chin music in.
I like that.
Joke.
Yeah.
Music to my chin.
Here we go. Darren, delightful as always.
Thank you. See you later.
All right. That is the one and the only, the incomparable, the delightfully, wonderfully unique Darren Casey. And we'll be back in a moment.